Hi, today I'm going to install a used gooseneck hitch. It's a B&W brand on a Ford F350 2003 Superduty. So I'll walk you through some of the steps, and I certainly hope that some of this will be helpful. Thanks for watching. Alright, the first step is to measure on off and find out where the center point of your bed is. And in the instructions, it actually says you need to measure off 47 inches. But again, I would refer to the manufacturer, whoever it is, to make sure you get this right, because you only get to cut the hole once and it's got to be in the right spot. So I'm going to go ahead and measure off 47 inches, and the other part is I need to find the center of the bed. So 47 inches this way, and then the center of the bed, and I think that's pretty straightforward. I'm going to put a center punch on it, drill through on the top, and you know, that's pretty much it for this part. The rest of it is, again, pretty straightforward. Well, in the process of trying to get this frame rail right here installed, it's pretty darn tight. So I've loosened the bolts here that secure the bed to the frame. And I put a little block of wood there, and I just use like a 2x2 to raise the back end of it up. The pickup bed is not that heavy, and if you're careful, you can pretty much do it, you know, all by yourself. So with that in mind, I think I'm ready to slide this assembly underneath there and start again proceeding with the installation. As you can see, that angle iron goes in there with no problem once you remove or lift the pickup bed up. And really the other part is to remove this emergency brake cable holder. You're going to actually have to secure that to the gooseneck hitch bracket itself. And hence that's where you need that 5/16 bolt or carriage bolt. So I think that covers this part. So I'm going to go ahead and remove that and then continue with just sort of loosely assembling the hitch underneath the truck here. And of course here's the bolts loosened up on the pickup bed. I should mention that if you ever take these bolts out, it's really a great idea to put anti-seize compound on this thing, because once they get rusted in place, they are a bear to remove. So with that in mind, just kind of an FYI. Alright, I'm getting ready to cut the hole in the bed, and I've taped around it, and ultimately what I want to do is I want to touch up paint on the exposed metal, and the easiest way to do that, of course, is to mask the area off. And what the heck, as long as I'm cutting a hole, I'll just go ahead and mask it off right now, and the tape will be perfectly matched, and then I can do some touch-up paint around the hole to make sure that corrosion doesn't happen. As far as this, I've got it all put together, placed loosely, and again, I've just haven't tightened up all the bolts, but it did help with, of course, lifting the bed on up, which I have a block right there. And let me go to the other side here. And you can't really see it here, but I've taken the tailpipe off. There is a little bit of a binding up underneath there between the B&W hitch, and I've got a 4-inch exhaust. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to take the bracket there that holds that muffler in place and drop it down a little bit. So I'm going to actually have to take it off, cut it up, and weld it up a little bit. It's just a minor tweak, but you know, it is what it is. This is the muffler, and it looks like it's pretty darn close here to the top. In fact, you can just see it's got like almost like a 1/2 inch. And what I need to do is I need to take this bracket right here and drop it. In fact, if you were to tie that to the bracket, you can see there's a big gap here between, you know, gosh, I'd say it's probably like 1 inch or maybe 1 or 2 inches. So I'm going to have to drop this bracket. Pretty straightforward. I'm going to have to take that piece off right there and then really just extend it, you know, whatever that measurement is, maybe a couple inches. Well, I've just went on through and fabricated, or actually cut up and then re-welded that to
the longest length possible. So I'm hoping that that's sufficient for the hanger, and we'll find out here in a few moments, but I think it'll be all right. Well, you can see here that I've got this hole drilled on in. One odd thing that is, you measure it off and it looks a little bit odd, but that hole is slightly in front of the axle. Not by much, but just a little bit. So anyway, it looks good. I'm going to go ahead and disassemble this part and drill a hole through the bed liner, and that'll be it for the hole drilling. So I think that's pretty much it for now. And by the way, you can get yourself, again, the 2x2. When I'm getting ready to tighten this on up, I'm going to hook that strap wrench up there, and the strap, and then hold it in place while I tighten all the bolts down. Okay, that's it for this part. Alright, I've got the liner installed, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill up from the bottom and go ahead and install, or I'm sorry, cut the hole out so that it matches the location of the hitch that I just, the hitch hole that I just drilled. So here goes. Alright, we've got it all taped off with the, of course, the masking tape. It's kind of light, a little bit odd. There's a little bit of glare in there, but the masking tape is still there. I'm just taping around there with craft paper. And now I'm just going to shoot around the perimeter and finish it up. We got black paint here. Well, I've got that hitch centered in the hole, and of course I have a little strap here holding it in place with a couple of 2x2s. So the next thing is to actually just go ahead and bolt up everything underneath with this held in place. Again, once you get, which the idea is, of course, is to line this perfectly with the hole. And you do have some adjustment on the hitch itself. So, and you can fine adjust this by really just taking nothing more than like a little screwdriver. You get enough width in there to get that bullseye right in the center of that hole. So I'm going to continue to tighten up the bolts here. I don't think you need to see that part. So that's it for right now.